What's your name? I've just interrupted you playing the organ at All Saints.
My name is Michael Fox.
We've got Michael Fox there. I'm sorry, how long have you been playing?
I started, would you believe, in about 1952 when I was 12 or 13, because I'm now in my mid-80s. Yeah.
Well, that's 70 odd years of...
Oh yes, but I am not religious. The organist in a village church had a nasty accident when his little autocycle caught fire as he was riding it. He couldn't sit down for several weeks, and I was recruited to play the organ there. So I did until I went off to university. And then I had some lessons in university from Dr. Douglas Fox, and you'll find him online somewhere. I mean, he's been dead many years now.
Of relation?
There's no relation whatsoever, but in the First World War in 1917, he was in a battle and he lost his right arm. It was amputated. And he played the organ still. And one of his teachers said, I tried playing for the service last Sunday with my right arm strapped behind my back so I couldn't use it. And it is possible. He played using only his left hand.
Wow.
And feet.
And the feet, of course, which is important.
And I had some lessons from him. I mean, obviously both hands. But after that, I taught, went abroad, and for a long time I didn't play. But now I'm retired and I took it up again and found I wasn't as rusty as I feared.
Sure.
And I just play for pleasure. I'm not the organist at the church here. I come and help out when they need someone, but they allow me very generously. They allow me to play.
Well, there's not many organs around, are there?
They do say it needs to be used. So what we've got is really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate instruments. And these control what the instruments do. At the moment, they are all pressed in and nothing happens anywhere.
Aha.
And each ladled part applies to one of the keyboards. Those apply to this keyboard. Those apply to this keyboard. And if I pull these out and play on one of the others, nothing happens.
I see. Which is where I thought it was like some old school synthesizer style setup, because you can create all these different sounds within one.
You can create different sounds.
Yeah.
By pulling out different ones of these. But you have to know these conventional names and the little numbers. And the little numbers that are 8 at the bottom refer to what you might call the normal piano pitch. And if there was a piano here and they played those notes, it would sound exactly the same level. But if I play that, and then that one,
Wow, so it changes the octave entirely.
and to fill it out, you have something you never use alone. But if I
So one key you can press one key and it plays multiple octaves at once with those in line.
So you can set up something that's playing a little melody down here.
Sure.
And you can accompany it. And of course you've got your feet. It is like a keyboard. Look, it's got the short notes.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
are the black ones. It's got the long ones.
So I thought it was like sustained with a piano, but it's not, is it?
No.
Wow. Nice. So you've got to be able to dance to play the organ.
And that is actually what is written here. It is written on 3 notes. Generally speaking, right hand, left hand, feet. Generally speaking.
see.
So that's all hands till there, and then look, it's just feet alone.
The notion of those. I know there's a yeah.
Right. These can be set up and controlled, but in effect, those pull out a preset arrangement. That's a quiet one. That's a bit noisier. Louder still. Louder.
Wow. Do you know when this was made? Oh, it says it. How wicked.
1925.
1925. That is amazing.
It's older than me. And they can be linked together. These do it for the pedals.
Oh, this is going to fascinate electronic music producers so much. The parallels are just...
Well, if it's a small village organ, you've got the equivalent of these two keyboards.
Yeah.
The one I learned on in Bakewell was a bit larger. It had 3 keyboards in it. And these come on a 4-keyboard one. There are 1 or 2 instruments which have a 5th keyboard. Up here, we've got some very loud ones, which I rarely use, and they are played from this top one.
Oh, like a trumpet.
It's a trumpet. And you can get an enormous noise from them. These are quiet, imitative things that imitate orchestral instruments. So here you've got like a flute. Here's a piccolo. There's an oboe. Not very like an oboe, really. I rarely use these, in fact, and there are 2 very powerful ones that I'm not going to do because it'll bring the roof down.
Awesome. So yeah, that's quite amazing. Yeah, and then these, because I know on one back in there was some of them where you had to pump them as you go, but I guess with this one it's got pre-existing compressed
it's
air.
not like that. But where are we? You can make it swell out, and that's the only way you can alter the loudness.
See, so that's what.
And the pipes for that section are in a gigantic, thick box with like vertical Venetian blinds on the front that are very thick, and when the box is closed, very little, they're quite quiet. When the box is open, they are louder, so you can do swell things with that keyboard. And there's another one for this keyboard, and there's one for that keyboard. That you can't do anything with, it's as it comes. So there is quite a lot going on, and ideally you don't look down because you've got to concentrate on the music.
Of course.
These are some that, in fact, the original of this, I was given this by the organist at Bakewell Church back in the 1950s. Not this copy, but these pieces. And I've lost the original one, and I thought it would be fun to get them out. And what you've heard me playing comes from these there by J.S. Bach, who is the classic organ composer.
From a great family of composers
From a
as
great
well.
family of composers.
Absolutely.
Yes. He was born in 1685, a long time ago, and died in 1750. We've actually been to his birthplace in Germany.
Oh, no.
Very interesting. However, there we are. What
Thank you,
else can I
Michael.
say?
That was phenomenal.
What else can I say?
I think you'll have given people a great appreciation for what organists are actually doing now behind the scenes. I had no idea until I spoke to you, and yeah, that is great.
Of course, when a service is going on, I mean, you've got a mirror so that you can see what's happening, and you know when to play certain things. And if it's a congregation singing, you can scarcely hear them from here.
Oh yeah.
Surprisingly, because congregations don't sing loudly.
Yeah, you need the choir. You really
But
do.
the one thing you listen for when you're an organist is, the one thing you can hear is the S's in words. When people get to words with an S in, you can hear that. You can hear the sibilants. And you have to play, and you have to play just very slightly in front to keep them going. The organist is officially following, but
but they're really
as a
conducting.
pianist is really following. But there are ways.
They're following from the front, almost. Amazing. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Well, I will.
By the way, your name, I don't know your name.
I'm George.
You're George.
Fantastic to meet you. Yes.
Yeah, brother-in-law George.
Fantastic.